Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Intellectual Films, and today we're going over one of the better powerhouses in the entirety of the game thus far, and that is Assault Warsuit Lex Luthor. You want to talk about a devastating character, a one-shot kill type character? It's certainly Lex Luthor, and primarily that's thanks to his leadership ability and my favorite aspect to the character, in my estimation. His team leadership is apply 3 affinity up and 14% turn meter bonus to other allies. So just use your imagination for a second and just imagine having at least 2 characters on a team that synergize with this leadership. For example, on my team, as I displayed in my first video, I have Batman and Wonder Woman. So you have the affinity up as well as the strength up, and the damage output for both those characters is insanity, and upwards to 10,000 from Batman and Wonder Woman. And you could just again imagine the AOE damage by Wonder Woman with such a boost. And of course, Lex doesn't come without his perks either. His first standard default ability is arguably one of the better ones in the game. Damage to a single enemy, 60% damage boost if Lex is above 50 health, which he almost is. Usually, if you're going up against Lex, your target is Lex when you start the match. You want to dispose of him as quickly as possible just because of how big of a threat he is. Whether he's applying his anti-alien strike or just simply doing insane amounts of damage, which is with his default, he is an enormous threat that you simply do not want to fight against. So, of course, and we can look at this right here. At level 9, you get a plus 20% boost, which is insanity. At total, this is a plus 90% damage boost if he's above 90 health. If you've leveled this up at its highest point, so that is craziness. And again, taking into consideration that you are using the suggested teams. And they are synergizing well enough, you really don't need this legendary buff. I really do think this is overkill because he's just doing so much damage as it is. He can one-shot so many characters without even, I can't even imagine how much damage this would do. So I certainly recommend investing your legendary power elsewhere, because I just think this is damage that is just unnecessary and not required. So again, probably one of the better default moves in the entire game. Looking at his second man of the hour, again, gain 20 shield and 2 stamina up. Now the stamina up, of course, is useful. The shield can be useful in cases. If you are going up against a team that is just using crazy AOE and you're aware of this, the shield up can be a nice buffer for you. Buy you some time, perhaps stun if you have Green Lantern on your team, or do whatever you'd like, honestly, to kind of take the heat off yourself. So this is definitely a nice cushion, but I really wouldn't invest in this that much. He simply has better attacks that you could invest in. So this is very, very. This is on the low laundry list of things that you would want to invest if you want to. A good Lex Luthor in PvP, I would say. His anti-alien strike, now of course, this is very useful. If you're going up against somebody like Doomsday, who's constantly buffing himself, just employing buff after buff after buff, and especially if he's on a team that's employing these buffs, it can get quite overwhelming fairly quickly. So having this in your back pocket is certainly useful. But at the same time, would I invest in this? Would I invest in the damage and an extra strength down? I would not. I really don't think it's worth it. Again, put those resources to good use and invest in his leadership and, of course, his first default. I would say this is still useful on its own, even at level 1. And you can look at the legendary. Of course, that's just adorable there and a very attractive 100% hit chance. But at the same time, I say put your resources elsewhere on Lex. Nuclear option, of course, this is the deadly AOE, which again gets rid of debuffs from Lex, which is very useful. Again, it starts on the 5 cooldown. Again, but this can be severely misunderstood for people. If you are playing on the right team, you can actually chain this move on turn 3. So if you are playing with Batman and you have his his detective skill work. I forget the exact name of the skill, but if you have that at level 6 at minimum, you can actually pull out this move on turn 3, which is insanity. Do I think it does enough damage to require leveling up? No, I don't, but I certainly think it's better than Anti-Alien Strike and Man of the Hour. So, you know, if you are building an AoE team, this might not be the worst thing in the world, especially if you have, you know, World's Greatest Detective Batman on your team. Then this is certainly very useful, and I would highly recommend it. You can do absurd amount of damage in a short amount of time, saving yourself long turns. You certainly do not want to wait 5 turns for this to trigger. I certainly wouldn't. So definitely have World's Greatest Detective Batman on your team. So overall, guys, just overall a devastating character when you get into the ring with him, so to speak. You talk about one-shots. Again, Lex Luthor is almost the king of it. Second is Cyborg, I would say. Certainly, Cyborg has intimidated me far more in PvP, where he's just that 30% chance, just one shot out of nowhere, has caught me off guard at times, and has almost cost me the match, unfortunately. But again, tell me what you guys think about Assault Warsuit Lex Luthor. Again, I think he's fantastic, perhaps one of the more powerful characters in the game. Super easy to use and just develop a team around. So yeah, again, guys, leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what character you guys want to see next. And as always, have a good day.